everyone, and welcome back to Brink of Speed. I'm super excited to do this episode today because I have something super exciting to show you guys. I'm sure that, you know, the thumbnail got everyone curious. And just like the thumbnail says, this is going to be the first mid-engine car brought to my channel, Brink of Speed. And so I hope you guys are excited. I'm going to unveil it right now in front of you. So let's walk over here and show you guys what you're looking at here. Now, I don't know if you can tell anything by the thumbnail or by me walking around what type of mid-engine this is, but if you figure this out before I unveil it, put in the comment exactly what minute and second that you figured it out. That way we can have a little contest and see if anybody guesses before I unveil it. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, guys, here we go. There you go. Brink of Speed's new mid-engine car, a Porsche Cayman S. It's a 2006, and I'm telling you what, right now, I absolutely love driving this car. So guys, as I said, this is my 2006 Cayman S. It only has 33,000 miles on it, and it is absolutely cherry. As you could see from the drone footage just now, all the beautiful angles of this car. The thing that I love about this car is, yes, it is 12 years old, but it still looks like a very modern car. So I know you saw that thumbnail, and it may have, you know, made you think C8, but no, this is a totally different mid-engine. Obviously, the C8 is not out yet. That was, you know, just something fun to do. There's a bunch of people out there putting C8 videos out right now, and you know I've done my share, but I'm more excited to talk about that car than the C8 right now. So that's what we're gonna do. I am going to take you guys for a ride and talk about the car and let you know what the plan is for this car. But first of all, I'd like to show you the front up front here. It is the front trunk, and it's quite large, as you can see. And right here we have an opening where normally the navigation would sit, but this car does not have navigation. So there's a little storage there. Here is another opening to that area, so you can easily access that and put a little storage in there. Right here is your brake fluid. So if you need to change that, that's easily accessible. And right here is where you put your washer fluid. So as you can see, this trunk has quite a bit of room in it. And if by chance you are ever locked in the trunk, you can pull this little lever here and it releases the front button for you. Now let's come around to the back here, and this being a mid-engine, it has a back trunk also, which is also very spacious, as you can see. It's very nice. You've got a cargo net there that you can store stuff under. And then this little compartment here is where your fluids go. So you've got your oil and then coolant fluid reservoir there. So as you can see, it's a cargo net. You can store stuff in. And then there are these two little cubby storage pockets here. I'll show you how to open them. It's not very easy to get to from the outside here, though. And as you can see, it's pretty deep, but it's not very large. And there are two of those. Now, as we come into the entry of the driver's side, as you can see, it's a very nice little entryway there with the Cayman S badge. And these doors have leather on them. So the whole trim is leather on the doors, the seats, and then also the dash. As you can see, very nice floor mats here. And there's your 3 pedals. And climbing in, the steering wheel is a little bit plain. It's not, it does not have any bolsters on it. And then coming to the instrument cluster, it's very appealing. It's white gauges with the center gauge being your tachometer, of course, and a digital speedometer. And as I said, the dash is leather. And then you have a Bose stereo system right below that, along with your air conditioning and heating system. And then here you have the 6-speed gear shift, manual gear shift, which is a beautiful looking shifter. And here we have a place for a couple of unusual type of cup holders. They work pretty well, though. One goes to the passenger and one goes to the, obviously, the driver. You can adjust just like this and fit, pretty decent size cups and small cups. And then they fold right back in just like that. And they're nowhere to be seen. The beautiful gray leather seats are in perfect condition, as you can see here, and they're very well bolstered. So they hold you in place like a sports seat should. Also, when you open up the glove box, there is quite a bit of storage in here. I'm not sure what these are for. It almost looks like CD holders. So you can store a couple of different CDs or DVDs in there. But anyway, the glove box is pretty roomy. It's pretty full right now, but you definitely have room in there. And then you got an ashtray and a cigarette lighter, something I'll never use. And then another part of the center console has a little bit of a storage back here behind the emergency brake. And it's not very big, but it's not bad for the size car it is. Then we're going to come over here and look at the center of the ceiling. And those are your buttons for your garage door. And then we're looking at the big mirror that shows a very nice view out the back window that's large. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the numbers of this car. It is a 2006. It has 33,000 miles on it. It comes stock with 295 horsepower and 251 foot-pounds of torque. And let me tell you, you can feel that torque. It actually feels, to me, more like it has the same torque as horsepower, or maybe even more torque than horsepower. So it definitely is a torquey feeling car, and it gives you all the power you need, and basically makes it so you do not have to do a lot of shifting. It is a pretty neat car. It comes with a 6-speed manual transmission, and I've got to tell you, the shifting is just, it's so smooth. My first impression of this car when I saw it was, you know, it's an absolutely gorgeous car, but once I got in and started driving it, it really made me fall in love with the whole thing. Not just the outside looks, but the inside is very comfortable. The seats have great bolstering on them, up high and down below, and so they hold you in place, but they're a very comfortable, sporty seat. And on top of that, this car drives small. So the car that I would compare this to would be my old Mini Cooper. And this car basically feels the same as those. It basically feels like you're driving a very tiny car. And this car actually isn't that small. It's almost as long as my Corvette is. So, but looking over the hood, it gives you the appearance that there's not really too much hood in front of you. Looking behind you in the mirror, it looks like there's no, you know, rear end of your car. You can't see any part of the rear end. And on top of that, with it being a mid-engine, it's perfectly balanced. So everything is in your hips, and the car pivots around your hips. It has, you know, the white gauges, and I love that they put the tachometer right in front of you. That's another similarity to my Mini Cooper. The Bose system in this car is a, I think, 12 speaker system, so it has a great sound. This Cayman S comes pretty much fully loaded up, but if you go on Porsche's website and you want to build your own Cayman, there are literally hundreds of options for these cars. So you can build them however you'd like, but for the most part, they come standard with some very nice features. I love the way the exhaust sounds. This is all stock, and it's just got such a beautiful sound to it. That was third gear at about 3,000 RPMs, and you know, you can hear that exhaust. It just sounds beautiful. We'll give you a little second gear. Got to be careful though, because I'm telling you what, this car only weighs about 2,975 pounds, and it's got that 300 horsepower and all that torque, and man, I'm telling you, it goes. That sound is amazing. You know, coming from my 2015 Z06 with 650 horsepower to something like this with literally 350 less horsepower, you would think that I would be like, eh, but I'm telling you right now, this car is absolutely a blast to drive, and it has my full attention. Not that it's hard to control or anything, it's actually the quite opposite. It's very easy to control. But the reason why it has my full attention is because of the fact that I can take this around corners at probably a higher rate of speed than even my Z06. tell you what, if you are looking for a really fun sports car under $30,000, or really under $25,000, this is definitely a car that I would highly recommend you taking a look at. You step on the gas, you don't have to wait. It is a naturally aspirated 3.4 liter flat six. And sometimes you get that little pop. Let's do a first gear. It's a fun car. A little sideways there, but man, it hooks right back up and goes. So another really neat thing about this car is it's got a rear spoiler that moves up. It does not come up on its own until you hit 75 miles an hour. So that kind of is a little bit weird. But because, you know, most cars with those types of spoilers go ahead and come up at about 60 to 65 miles an hour. I'm merging onto the highway here, and I'm going to put it in 6th gear. Just show you guys how quiet this car rides. It's at about 2,800 RPMs, and I'm going about 68 miles an hour, and it's so smooth on the highway. It literally just feels like you don't have to do anything. I mean, even if you let go of the wheel like this, it just drives perfect. The steering is very tight. The suspension is obviously tight because it is a sports car and it's the S version, but on the highway, I'm telling you, it feels so great. And this is a car that I can definitely see myself using as a daily driver. Now, it is a manual, so it would get a little bit old in traffic. However, you don't have to shift very often because of the fact that you have so much torque. So you literally can leave it in 1st gear and you know, ride through traffic as long as it's not stop and go traffic. You can even put it in 2nd gear probably and have plenty of torque at low speeds to just kind of coast and go, and then coast a little and go. So it is a very pleasant car in every situation that I've found so far. So guys, that's going to wrap things up for today. That's a pretty neat sight, huh? See both the beautiful Z06 and the Cayman S in the garage together. I do want to say that I did not find anything about this car that I didn't like. That may be hard for you to believe, but it is the truth. I did not find a single thing I didn't like. Every part of that car is just phenomenal, and it's extremely fun to drive. It's a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be to drive. I've never driven a Cayman until just recently when I bought this. And so that's going to wrap it up. I hope each and every one of you have a wonderful rest of your week. If you have not joined the Brink of Speed community yet, make sure and hit that subscribe and bell button so that you're notified when my new content comes out. And make sure and smash that thumbs up button and let me know that you love the video. Leave me a comment below, and I will see you out on the road.